Hello and welcome to Let's Make a Dorset Button. So this right here is essentially the Dorset button kit that I sell in my shop, twinmommycreations.com. We have a circular one, we have hexagons, I also have hearts. But anyway, they come with 7 rings, 6 or 7 rings, all different sizes. And then you'll get your 2 shuttles, just kind of depending on what your preference is. And then a needle. So yeah, so that's our kit, and we are going to do a hexagon today. I'm not sure what size I want to do yet. So basically this is your frame, and it's going to depend on how big of a button you're trying to make. Like this one is a large, maybe an accent button or something you would put on a hat or anything. You probably aren't going to put this as a functional button on anything unless you have like a really big coat. It makes me think of the women in movies who have those gigantic coats with big old buttons right down the side. But yeah, so it's all different sizes. Personally, I'll probably do this one just because it will work up slightly fast. But yeah, so you get all your different sizes to play with. Let's do this. As you can see, I went ahead and got my shuttle all wrapped. This is a, let's see, there we go. It's a Arn and Carlos Christmas sock yarn from a few years ago. I picked it up at Creativity in Largo. Well, I was there one day. So here we go. We wrapped our shuttle. Some people prefer to use a needle. Other people prefer the shuttle. It just kind of is a personal preference. Some people prefer this one. Others prefer this. So it doesn't really matter. It's whatever works for you. And we can get it going. So let's get started. We are going to want to get our yarn tied on there. I only do one boop. Like if you were starting to tie your shoes, I just do the one. And then as you're working around, you're going to pin your tail down. So just kind of, I don't like, it's going to want to go to the corner of the hexagon. I don't like going to the corner. I like going a little further over so that way when I end, it just works better. So let's get going. So if you have done any tatting in your life, it's going to be just like that. You're going to go through, and then your working yarn is going to go around your shuttle, or you're going to go through the loop, and then you pull it tight. So if you're on a needle, it's going to be the same thing. You'll end up getting a flow with your hand, where it'll make it easier to just continuously do the same thing. And most people do when they're working, they will get all their ridges on the inside. It doesn't actually bother me that much on the outside. So a lot of times I will just leave mine on the back side. So this is the back. This is going to be your front. So your front is going to be pretty nice. You're not going to have to deal with any lumps, bumps, anything weird. So we're just going to keep on going. We have to wrap the whole thing. So you're going to go all the way around. And I do know most people, or what I have seen, prefer to do cotton. They do like a pearl cotton or an embroidery cotton. From my experience, I actually prefer yarn. I'm not sure why I prefer yarn, if it's just because that's what I work with the most or what. But yeah, I like the look of the yarn. So I'm just going to keep on going and I'll be back. So let me show you this. So I'm at the corner and you can see where there's a little bit of gap from the frame. That is going to bother me. That's going to bother most people. So as you are working, you're going to get tighter and tighter, and at the end, everything can just be pushed together and it will fill in that gap. Also your spokes. So when you go to do your spokes for weaving, it'll end up going right up there and covering it. So it's not the end of the world. It'll all work out if you have a little bit of a gap. Just keep on going. Alrighty, so we have got the entire thing covered. Oh, there we go. Have it covered. You can see it's kind of furry. That's because I'm using a wool yarn. That's one of the perks of using the cotton, is it doesn't do that. And if it does, it's not nearly as bad. Okay, so now we're going to form our spokes. Sorry about that, I had to cough. Okay, so this is our backside. If you hate it, you can sit here and twist all of your back pieces to the inside. I don't hate it, so I tend to just leave it. It's not that serious to me. So we are going to make our spokes. Now, some people will tell you that you need 12. Some people will tell you need 10. It's really whatever works for you or what the shape is. If you have an odd shape, you're not going to be able to get 12 or 10. You're going to have to figure out what works best for you and what you're making. So there's our one. So it's like a, I don't know if I want to do just the big spokes or if I want middle spokes too. So if we do middle spokes, it'll be like this. And I haven't quite decided like how much, I call it traffic, like how much traffic I want in the middle of it. Okay. We're almost done, and then I'll show you how to tighten it up. So there to there, there to there. Okay, so right here you can see they're not even, but you can kind of see where they line up with each other. Oh no. Where like the top ones need to be slid over and line up with that. So this is where this comes in. So for me, I now will take it off of my shuttle and put it on a needle. Okay, we are spoked. We have our yarn on our needle. So from here, I'm going to go through here. And usually this first one, you'll immediately see a difference. And when you pull it, you see how it kind of lines up everything. And then we'll come up. I pick a different spot every time. I don't ever go in the same in and out. I always pick someplace different. And then we're going to go here. If you do it right, you can do it in like 2 or 3. I kind of overkill, but that's okay. Not quite centered. You see how that middle line isn't quite where it needs to be. I know for some people that's going to really be a problem. For me, again, it's never really an issue. I'm just kind of happy that I'm making something, so I try not to make it let it bother me. Okay, so we're pretty even there. Our center's tied up. We have our 2 spokes per thing, and we are going to start wrapping. Okay. If you have any kind of issues with carpal tunnel or something, your hand will probably go numb periodically. You're going to have to stop and like shake it out or whatever. Let's see, it's trying to move on me. Okay. So we're going to just pick a spot and go up. And you're going to go down. And then you're going to go under 2. So we've wrapped this spoke right here. We came out here. We're going to pop up here. So we're going under this one and under this one. We came up this one. We're going to pull it tight. Now we're going to wrap this spoke. So we're going down. And then we're going to go underneath it and its neighbor. I tend to push them in. So we're going to go under this one and pop up here. You're wrapping each spoke as you go. And if you hold your threads while you're doing it, it will end up making, like, you'll figure it out as you go where you want to put your fingers and what works for you. So when I pull this, I pin it with my middle finger. And then I go over. And at this point, I pin it with my thumb and go down. It just makes life a little bit easier. You're not fighting so much with tension and stuff. Especially this first row when you're trying to get everything pinned in place. But the more you make or the more you do this, you'll figure out what works best for you and what's easiest. We're going to just keep on going. So it's over, under, whoop. We're gonna go under 2. We're gonna pop up. And we're gonna go over this one. So that's where we're at right now on the top. And that's what our back looks like. And the more we do here, or if we, my hand's starting to go numb, or if we pack it down a little as we go, you get a more perfect feel. I'll be back after a few rows, show you what we're looking like. Here's our check-in. Made it this far. And our tail is too small. Whoop, there we go. The tail is just not enough left for me. So we're gonna cut another strand and hook it in there. So I don't need a ton, but I kind of want some of that green on the edge, you know? I feel like that would be pretty. So we'll go like that. All right. So we are all set up. We left off right here is where our tail is. So from here you can either weave it in, or I have this little thing I like to do. So I'm gonna pull this one up here. And what I should have done was pull this underneath it. There we go. So when I wrap, it'll wrap the whole thing. And then I'm gonna wrap the new one. Oop. This part's kind of fiddly. So essentially this tail will end up lining up with this spoke, and we'll wrap it so it'll be in there, and then our new yarn tail will line up with this spoke, and we'll end up getting it put in there. So let's get ourselves going. There we go. And through the middle. We'll get our white going. We'll keep on going. Alright, so I am back where we ended and started. So let's see if I can get this. There we go. So this is our end. Oh, come on, phone. This is our new one. So we need the white from the new one. Boop. To be wrapped up with this spoke back here, right there. So I'm going to kind of hold it and make sure that my new yarn gets tucked over it. So I have it underneath. Make sure my new one gets tucked over it. That this guy's under, he isn't. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, he isn't, so we're gonna make him. There we go. Okay, so when I pull this up and over, he's going to be stuck. Oh, I have a kid trying to play with the door. Alright, so that one's tacked down and this one's tacked down. So as we go each round, it'll be tacked down even more. And we'll just tighten everything up and keep on going. Okay, we are to the point where things are getting too tight along the edges in certain spots. So rather than fighting it, I'm going to go ahead and end it now. So from this point, what I do, and there's going to be a right and a wrong way, everyone's going to have their opinion, same as everything else. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I will take this, and I came out here, I will run my needle down this spoke, and it will basically go into this tube, and that's how I will end. You can also go up here and go back and forth through these stitches. Whatever works for you is just fine. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just kind of depends for me on how much space I have and if it's going to be a problem. Like if I can't get it in there, that means it's super tight and it's not going to work. And so I won't do that. Let me see. I wonder if I can flip this and see it enough up here to go into, there we go, to go into our tube right there. And what that's doing is that's going to put us between our spokes. Aha, okay. So I've punched up, it's through there, and I'm getting it through the back. Right, there's that. It does not have to be all the way to the middle or anything. Just get yourself in there so you can get your end secured enough. That's what matters, just getting that end secured. Do not pull it too tight. If you pull it too tight, you're going to mess up your little tube. So let me get to the point where I can finish this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I probably should have sat there and unwound all my string before I fought it. There we go. Okay. Don't mind the chaos that is going on right here. Okay. So we're pulling it. And I don't want to pull too tight because it'll cinch up the top and it'll look kind of crappy. But there we go. Spread it back out. We're good. And since we had our others pinned down and we did enough rows, we're going to go ahead and cut those off as well. That was from our color change. So this is our back. You can see your ends poking out. And this is our front. And there's your Dorset button. So from here, if you're going to sit here, you're going to tweak all your little things and make sure everything's perfect however you want it. You either stitch this onto something, you can turn it into a pendant by throwing a jump ring on here or in a corner. You can sew a piece of fabric onto the back or a piece of felt so you can put a shank on it. Whatever works for you. There you go. Thanks for watching and have a great day.